Alright, so this is the logic part of our geometry unit, which is really fun. And so we're going to make a foldable first to kind of keep track of the different parts. So first step, fold your paper in half, like hamburger, I think it's called this way. Alright, when you finish that, open it up and fold each end in to meet the middle. Okay, then you're going to unfold it and snip just the leaves, just the outside part, in half. And I don't care if it's exact. If you care if it's exact, then make it exact. And I might care if this part lines up.
Right.
You can make it exact. Mine's not exact. If you want to make it exact, like measure and find the exact. Okay, so on this top corner, we're going to label just conditional statement. That's what we're studying today. Alright, so once you have that, flip the little flap open. And so the basics of a conditional statement is it's an if-then statement, okay? So I would have, if I go to AHS, then I am a cult. There are two really important parts to a conditional statement. The hypothesis. What's a hypothesis that you know of so far? You know that word, right?
Educated guess.
Educated guess. So in logic, it's a little different, but I mean, it's like the first statement. We're saying in science, you say, "Hey, I think this is true." So in conditional statements in logic, we're just saying, "Hey, this is our hypothesis." Is I go to AHS, and so it's the words following if. And then it's really important they do not include if. So it's just a statement. If sets it up, but it's just a statement, because that will show up on a test or quiz where one of the multiple choice answers has the word if and one does not. All right, and then the second part of the statement we call a conclusion. Which are the words after then. And so that would be that I am a cult. Yes. Alright, can I flip it back? Actually, I don't need to flip it back. On the outside of your next flap, we're going to write con versus the next statement. We're doing 4 statements today. Everything's based off of the first conditional. So, converse is where we take that original statement, we flip it, flip the hypothesis and the conclusion. So what would that be? Anyone? And the if's going to stay in the same place. So now I say, if I am a colt, then I go to AHS. Because remember, the if and then are not part of the original statement, and so they say where they are when we flip the hypothesis and conclusion. So you turn to the next person next to you and say, converse is when we flip hypothesis and conclusion. Alright, our next one on the flap down below is inverse. What does inverse mean? If you hear the word inverse, just in life.
Backwards.
Yeah, backwards. And so inverse is just when we basically we add not. So our word we use here, oh, you guys can't do that. Negate. Have you ever heard that word before? So we negate the hypothesis and conclusion. So my shorthand for that is we add not. And so we just take our original statement again and say if I do not, because I just have to add not in there, go to AHS, then I am not a colt. Alright, and then our last one, contrapositive. Do you guys know what the term contra means? How about, yeah, like contradict. So it means contra kind of means against. So against the positive. This is where we take the original statement and we flip it around and add not. We're like doing both things. So we flip and negate. Anyone want to see if you can guess what that would be? Or figure out what that would be? What do you think?
If I'm not a cult, then I don't go to AHS.
Perfect. So, if I am not a cult, then I do not go to AHS. Okay, so we just took like the inverse that we'd already figured out and flipped it around. So, real quickly, let's talk about the truth of statements. Logic, we're just dealing with these. We aren't dealing with the truth. Is the first statement true? If I go to AHS, then I am a cult. Can you think of any circumstance where it would not be true?
You're human.
Maybe our junior hires who come up here for that.
Or there's other substitute schools in other states.
Yeah. AHS is a pretty general thing, so there's probably quite a few other places. So, yeah, Austin High School, Arlington, Virginia High School. Yep. All right, how about the second one? Even if the first one is true, would the second one necessarily be true?
There could be other cults.
Yeah, lots of schools could have cults, so not necessarily true. And so same thing of these. So as we move to your packet, we're going to start talking about the truth of the statements. All right, so this is page 1 of your packet. Here we're just supposed to circle hypothesis, underline the conclusion. So we already did our foldable. What's the hypothesis of the first one?
It rains.
It rains. What's the conclusion?
The game will be canceled.
All right. What's the hypothesis of the second one?
B is the midpoint.
Yeah, do you guys see the difference there? How if it's in a different order here, but still our hypothesis is if B is the midpoint,
Is it? Yeah.
then AB equals BC. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. If we know B is the midpoint, then the two halves have to equal each other. But see how it's not here. It's not written in the same if-then format, but it's the same statement. We just have to analyze it a little bit. Okay, we're going to skip around, just do a couple examples here, and then you guys are going to finish this in your groups. So, 16-year-olds are eligible to drive. How could we turn that into an if-then statement?
6 years old.
Yeah.
Then
So, if you are 16, then you are eligible to drive. All right, we're gonna skip down to number 8, where we're dealing. Class, you are on video.
yeah.
Okay. All right, one talker, remember? All right, so here we're saying, is it true? And explain your reasoning. If it's false, we give a counterexample. So counterexample is just example where it's false. Counterexamples always follow conclusion. Follow hypothesis. But not the conclusion. So I'll explain. So first one, if an animal is a bird, then it is a penguin. True or false? False. So what's an example where it would be false?
Parrots.
Well, penguin is a type of parrot, but parrot. So I have to follow the conclusion. So where I can say, if an animal is a bird, it could be a parrot. So, or what's another type of bird?
Cockatoo.
I can't spell cockatoo. Eagle. Eagle, ostrich, robin, and wren, any type. Okay, so we're just saying if it's a bird, it could be one of these other ones, and you fill in with it whatever you want.
Well, I got a question.
Yes.
Okay, this might sound dumb, but is a duck a bird?
A duck's a bird.
Oh. What?
Okay.
A duck is a bird?
How about the second one, you guys? True or false?
If tomorrow's Friday, then today is true.
True. What's our reasoning?
Tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday is always before Friday. Okay, so you guys are going to come back and finish this page in your groups in a minute. So flip to page 2 real quickly. All right, and let's have one talker again. Okay, so here gives, again, the review of what we did in the foldable. And remember, you have to have these words memorized by your quiz that will be coming up. So converse is where we flip it. Inverse is where we add not. And contrapositive is where we flip and add not. And assuming the original statement is true, converse, when we flip it, it's not always true. It can flip around. And the inverse isn't always true. Contrapositive has the same level of truth as the original, always. So if the conditional is true, your contrapositive will be true. And so what you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and take your conditional, write it into the converse, inverse, contrapositive, and then determine if it's true or false. If false, find the counterexample. Who thinks you can do that with your group? Okay, that was enough hands. You guys can help each other. So, okay, so most of you have these in front of you. Make sure to write your name there, and ideally your period. This is first. Okay, so in each. Hey guys, one talker. Okay, in each box you should contain a whole if-then statement. Okay, so you're doing it kind of like the if you give a mouse a cookie that we watched the video. So if I want to write, what topic should I write about? My dogs? School? My dogs? Okay. A snake?
No, do something that you don't like. Cooking. You don't cook.
I like cooking. Okay.
If you give us a cookie.
So if I cook a bunch of food,
Then I'm hungry. No, then I want to eat.
then I am tired. Cooking's a lot of work. Okay. If I am tired,
I'm asleep. I want to go to sleep. I want to take a nap.
then, oh boy. If I'm tired, then I'll sit and eat the food I cooked.
It don't make sense.
Well, that's what I do after I cook a bunch of food. I sit down and eat it. And I'm tired. But you don't always eat when you're tired.
It's not right logic.
It doesn't have. Okay.
I'm tired, but I want to eat.
Okay. And then I'll go on, and if I eat the food I cooked, then I will have more energy. If I have more energy, then I can wash all the dishes I made cooking.
So basically, just keep on going.
Just keep on going, okay? So here's the thing. To get full credit for this, you must draw and color.
And color?
Okay? So it doesn't have to be good drawing. This is going to be my pot.
Oh, that's a good spot.
Please don't touch me.
You want an outline?
I can't do
You can color in stick figures. Here's me. Or try to do just a little bit better than stick figures. This is me cooking food. Oh, I'll get you one. It doesn't have to be good. There we go. That's the extent of my drawing. I'll give myself a smile. And then I would come color in a
Can I get
picture.
a paper?